Welcome back to episode 68.
68, yes.
Of In the Shadow of the Evening Trees. I was like, wait, really far up there. I'm Jen Von Ebers.
I'm Dave Von Ebers, and there's a lot of moving parts to this
This is a whole big setup.
This is a whole big thing. It's a brave new world.
It is a brave new world. 2025. Look out. Here we come.
This was the resolution we didn't tell anybody about.
We didn't.
Happy New Year.
Where's the champagne? We didn't bring.
This is just a cup full. This is a tumbler full of vodka on the rocks.
Exactly.
And no one will know the wiser.
I have none. I didn't bring it. I didn't bring any
Should we stop?
No.
Should we pause and you can go
good.
get a beverage?
Yeah.
We're going to move. That'll be our next thing is we'll start mixing cocktails.
We're going to become mixologists on here. So as you know, we have a podcast, and this is episode 68.
This is the podcast.
This is the podcast. And then we thought it would be fun to also make a video of it.
Whilst we're doing it.
So we'll still have our podcast, which will be on our website.
And on Apple Podcast.
And on Apple Podcast. We might put this on YouTube as well, and
we are going to put it on YouTube.
And then we're definitely put it on YouTube.
We have no idea what we're doing.
We'll probably put a snippet on as a teaser on Instagram.
We'll figure that out as we go.
That's for the tech crew to work on.
Yeah. Well,
that's our IT department.
Yeah. Who's the producer of this show?
I know. Who's in charge of the technical aspects of
this? We started out years ago.
I already looked it up. I just looked it up. We started our Instagram, Jen and Dave, August 25th, 2020.
And there's our cat. And we
Yes.
knew she would be there. Do you want me to open the door?
Yeah, I better open the door for her.
Well, this way I can show that unlike the typical Zoom, you can't see anyway. Well, just take my word for it. I am wearing pants. This is not like some Zoom court thing where the guys all rise and then somebody stands up without pants. Come on in, Gordy.
Or wearing pajama pants. Gordy, our cat, was just in here. She left. We shut the door thinking, all right, she'll be fine.
She had
to get back in. She missed her mom and dad.
So I suppose one thing we should explain if you're only listening to it on our website or on Apple Podcasts is that some of the commentary will be more directed at the fact that we're also recording a video.
Yes.
Like that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense when I stood up and said, I'm wearing pants. If you're listening to it, none of that would matter. I could be buck naked.
This is just to record, have a reference of it that we are
I could be bodysuit man. And you wouldn't know any better.
Nobody would know the wiser.
That's exactly right. So anyway, you were saying about...
yes, we started our joint Instagram in 2020 during the pandemic when we were still out at home, obviously, and
bored out of our minds.
We probably had 100 episodes or more on that.
I think we did.
One. So if you want to do a deep dive to the very beginnings, just scroll way down on our Instagram page, and you'll be able to see the first ones that we posted and pictures from trips from long ago and stuff like that. So
I apologize in advance to anybody who looked, and this will probably deter anyone from doing that, but some of the videos have me playing guitar on them.
And that's all right.
Which is extremely embarrassing.
The very first video has you playing guitar.
That's true, and ironically, that one wasn't really all that bad.
It wasn't.
Compared to like everything else I ever posted. Yeah, that we did the first video. So we had talked, we were bored because it was a pandemic and we were mostly indoors. And even if we weren't indoors, we weren't going to bars and restaurants and cool places.
True.
We weren't going to see concerts. So we had been talking about, well, what if to alleviate the boredom, what if we made some videos and posted them on, initially we were going to do it on Instagram, and we could talk about the whole series of issues with that. But the very first one we made was 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. No, it couldn't have been 5 years ago, right? Because that would have been pre-pandemic. And it was a significant anniversary of the Born to Run album by Bruce Springsteen.
It was right here because it was the very first. I think that was the very first.
8/25/20.
I think it was the next day after that because it was August 25th. Yeah.
Yeah, 8/25/20.
The first.
Or as the Brits would say, 28/25.
Yes. There it is right there.
in all its glory. So that would have been, the album came out in 75. So quick math, that would have been 45 years. The 45th anniversary of Born to Run. And I actually played a little bit of Thunder Road, and it actually sounded halfway decent.
It did. I'll just take you back down memory lane for a second.
But that's not the beginning of it.
No. Oh.
I don't know what's
Okay.
going on.
Hopefully that's picking up on the podcast.
I don't know, but it doesn't look like it on our. We've got multiple things happening here.
Yeah.
We've got.
So anyway, so that's that.
That's that. But in any event, we did occasionally. Well, I think we occasionally both played guitar.
We did.
But in any event, that's something we don't need to relive that painful memory for you lovely people. But initially we were posting the videos to Instagram, and the first few were short. They were just a few minutes. Like that one was, I think, 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
And then it got more elaborate, and we were doing roughly half-hour videos because at the time you could.
It was IGTV.
Right. So if you posted, you could do a 90-second reel or something like that. Oh, I don't know if they called them reels.
They didn't call them reels back then, but you could do a teaser and then it would say watch more, and then you could do it, I think, up to an hour.
I think it was an hour. And so we were posting these long form videos on Instagram, and then we also started a YouTube channel, and we started posting them there too. And then there was something that happened. It may have been on our end, it may have been on Instagram. We know it was Instagram, but I don't want to get in any trouble.
Right.
Where you couldn't post the longer form videos for a while. They got rid of the IGTV thing. And so we had recorded one, spent a lot of time on it, because we would do, I don't know, we did all kinds of silly things. We would we'd record the sound separately and then sync the sound in the video. We thought we were like professionals, which was embarrassing.
Turns out we weren't.
Turns out we weren't. But we put a lot of time in it. We do a little cover picture with the title, and we would do, we'd insert a little bit. We'd do multiple videos and connect them.
And we did 3 shows a week.
Initially,
so that
it
was
3
yeah.
a week,
So that was
yes.
a lot too.
But at one point, we did some elaborate thing where we tried to put a video together, and it wouldn't upload because they had changed whatever. I mean, we'll say it was our fault, but we know it wasn't our
It would be like it was uploading and then it would crash, and then we would start over again, and then it would say uploading forever, and then nothing would happen, and it was just like a big disaster.
And then I think you looked it up, and we found out that the parameters changed. Let's just put it that way.
Yes.
So then we went through a period of time of not posting stuff, I think. And then we got the brilliant idea to do a podcast instead because we couldn't do videos.
Right.
We couldn't post them. We could still do it on YouTube, but we couldn't post them on our Instagram account. We had a decent number of followers on Instagram. We still do.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you for your support. But hello, Gordy. There she is. But so we decided that we'd try to make a living. No, we would try to.
We quit our jobs.
We quit our jobs. We mortgaged our house.
Right.
We got a second mortgage. No, none of that is true. But we decided to do the podcast, and then out of the blue, we would post videos on our Instagram promoting the podcast. And then we discovered we'd post them as reels.
Right.
Then we realized that they were only, we'd talk for 3 or 4 minutes and realized that we were only posting 90 seconds.
Because I posted something on my page that was 5 minutes long, and I couldn't understand what happened to the rest.
Yes.
And then we Googled it, and then we learned that
But I think that's also a change, because I think the
It
first
definitely
couple
is.
of times we posted a 2-3 minute video and it went straight through and it wasn't a problem.
yeah.
And they don't tell you, like if you record something that's 4 or 5 minutes long and you post it as a reel, it'll be like, all right, fine, no problem. And then you listen to it.
You listen to like the first 20 seconds, you're like, okay, it's up, kind of thing.
But it only goes 90 seconds and it just cuts it off.
Right.
And
And so I'm
starts
sure
it over
people
again.
are like, thanks. That's a weird place to end.
But then we realized we could post a 4 or 5 minute video just as a post, which we thought we couldn't do, I
Correct.
guess. And now it appears that you can post longer videos.
Up to 60 minutes.
Up to 60 minutes. So we're going to see.
Yeah.
But then there's other limitations. Like if you're recording in high def and the file is too big, you may not be able. So we're going to see what happens.
We're just going to try it out.
We're
and
gonna
see what
wing it.
happens.
But we're going to post this on our website, and we're going to post this. Well, of course,
We're going to woof it.
We're going to woof it. If you're listening, then you know we posted it on our website or that it's on Apple Podcasts
Yes.
or whatever other. We don't even know where it is. We're clueless.
It's just look it up.
Just look it up, Google it.
Right.
And anyway, so we'll see about it, but we'll put it on our YouTube channel and we'll include a link to our YouTube channel in the notes.
So, for those of you who listen to our podcast, thank you very much. And if this is something that
It's not really vodka, by the way. Did I ever actually explain that it's not vodka? It's
Yes.
just water?
It's
okay.
water. But if you prefer to or enjoy more watching us talk instead of listening
that's
to
fun.
us,
That's really thrilling.
Well, even if it's a video, you could still listen to it if you're
That's true.
walking around. So you don't
That's
actually
true.
necessarily have to look at our faces. But if
They're
that's
lovely faces.
if that's something that you would
stunning
prefer
faces.
better, it is. Then just let us know because we're gonna try it out and see what happens.
You know what I was thinking about? Although we did post photos on our joint Instagram account after we kind of abandoned the videos, but it occurred to me when we were talking about going back to this and we should explain the evolution of this whole process. It occurred to me that it's too bad that we stopped doing the videos because then everyone could have seen the evolution of my beard over the years.
Yes.
At one point, it was like David Letterman.
We actually have
although
that on-
David Letterman's beard was much, much better. But we went out with friends one time and we hadn't gotten together before, and our friend Nate said, "Letterman, you look like David Letterman." And then
Oh,
I
yes.
made the mistake at one point of asking Jennifer if I should, there's my Letterman beard. I like that. Again, if you're only listening to the audio, you have no idea what's going on. But
Exactly.
Jennifer showed a picture of my beard.
Yes.
Well, I was with the beard, and you were too.
I was there too.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's too bad. I made the mistake one time of
Actually,
saying,
there's
no,
the-
that one was that actually looked good.
Yeah, there's actually more of that, where that came from.
One time, yeah, there's more where that came from. I one time made the mistake of asking Jennifer whether or not I should trim it, and she said, "Oh yeah." So
I didn't dislike it, but
someone once, when I used to be on the Twitters, which is a godforsaken hellscape.
yeah, we're not
doing that anymore. But when I was on Twitter, someone once said that it was unkempt.
Oh.
My beard was unkempt. I liked it, but it was a hassle. I had to use a lot of product.
Yeah, and that's kind of
That one was still pretty. That was still pretty
Yeah.
kempt at that point. It wasn't as unkempt.
But anyway, yes, there you
But
can
that
see
would
the
have been fun.
evolution of David's beard.
Now I'm just gonna grow my hair out, and it's gonna be like.
Well, it's funny because you would go through phases where you wouldn't always have a beard and mustache, and then you grow it back, and things like that. And I always was
People change, Jennifer.
you do, but I would be like if you were missing or something, they'd be like, "What does your husband look like?" And I would be like, "Does he have a beard and mustache, or does he not?" I don't want you to go missing, but
Yeah, well, it sounds like you were planning something. Why'd you buy all this lime and a chainsaw? No, I think you have to use a bone saw for that.
oh jeez.
That's like a Sopranos episode in here.
Yeah. No, thank goodness, no. But anyway, in the room that we're actually filming, and you can see the background.
This is our accent wall.
It is. So when we purchased this house, 3 out of the 5 bedrooms has one wall just painted a different color than anything else. So as
It's
you can
an
see,
accent wall.
yeah. So you can see this is like a cream color. This is kind of like, well, I call it coral. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks a little darker on the video.
Because it's at night,
Yeah.
and we don't have daylight in here. I actually don't mind it anymore. When we first moved in, I was just like, I don't think I like that at all. Now I do. So we're using that as our background. So this is our studio now.
Yeah, this is actually your office,
It is my office.
but it's
slash guest room.
guest room.
Slash podcasting.
Except there's no bed in here now because
Right.
we have 18 million things going on. We have a lot of uses for this one room.
We do. It's a multi-purpose room.
It's a multi-purpose room.
It's not a glam room though, so I
No.
don't have. This isn't also my. Well, it is part of my closet because I do have some of my clothes in the closet in this
That
room.
is true. That is true. And we have boxes of Legos from when our kids were little.
That is, yeah, probably $10,000 worth of Legos in there. I'm just
And
kidding.
some of our daughter's instruments that she hasn't wanted to take with her,
Yes.
which is a shame because she's the only one who plays mandolin and violin and viola in
Yes.
the family.
And banjo.
And banjo.
I think the banjo is in the basement.
Yes.
So we just thought it would be. Let's just see, like, bring it back and like see what happens if we can make the.
We got the band back together.
We got the band back together.
Yep.
And we'll just see how it goes. Because I mean, we did enjoy doing the Instagram, the videos, but I think it was just like over time. Then when things got back to normal and things were busy again, and there was like things to do when our kids were so busy. Well, it would have just
And we
been
were
Claire.
way too
Yeah.
ambitious.
We were very
Because
ambitious.
we'd go for a walk in the summer in a local forest preserve. We'd take either still photos or video, and then we'd cook something and we'd do a video of what we were cooking.
Yeah.
And then the cats would do something, so we'd take pictures, and then we'd splice it all together, and
Yeah.
you know. It was
Although
complicated.
the cooking episodes were popular because David made his chili.
I did make
and we did do that twice. So there is 2 videos on our Instagram of that, and then we also did our viral. I'm going to call it viral.
We
The
were
tuna
viral.
pasta salad, our summer salad,
That was great.
which is also can be a winter salad.
Yes, we could do it any time.
We can.
We could make some right now. Except we don't have that many vegetables in the house because we got to
We
go to the
don't.
grocery store.
Yeah. But I'll just give you a quick synopsis of that. It's just canned tuna, which I don't really like canned tuna per se. Like if you made a tuna fish sandwich.
Born and raised Catholic. Ate a lot of tuna.
You're eating tuna.
Still eat tuna.
But this, for whatever reason, is spectacular. And so you drain the tuna that's in water, not oil.
Yeah, you
'cause
don't want
that's a whole
tuna in
different
oil for that.
Yeah, that would just be too much. Till it's like really dry, very dry. And I think that's the key to that.
I get every drop of moisture out of
Yeah.
that can.
And then we chop up a bunch of vegetables. The ones that we like together, we put in a Tupperware. And then on the side, Jennifer will have blueberries, maybe strawberries, avocado. You have tomato, and
That's a fruit.
That is a fruit.
That's a fruit.
And then we either do mixed greens, and then sometimes we'll do pasta too. So it'll be like a tuna pasta cold salad on top of everything. It's spectacular.
If you use just the greens, I'm getting two. So we have a separate microphone here for our audio, and anyway, it's too complicated. It's a fun microphone.
It is.
But I'm paying more attention to the video, and so I keep getting closer and then moving away, which doesn't work. Look at it! Look how it spiked when I did that.
It did.
Apologies in advance.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I gotta learn the drill that I can't keep moving around. When
But
there's
I
a-
think there's a lot of people who do podcasts who videotape it, because I listen to one that I listen to is Mel Robbins. If you're not listening to her, she's fun, motivational. But I didn't know that she did do a video one until I saw a promo of it, and it was a video, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I thought to myself, well, I think I'd prefer watching that, than listening to it. Although I'm in the car for an hour a day driving, so I was listening to it there. But I do think a lot of people are going that route.
Well, our friend Jesse Jackson, who does the Bruce Springsteen podcast,
Yes,
that
he
we
has
have
done
appeared on.
1,500 episodes about Bruce Springsteen. I mean, it's insane.
And
He's very professional.
And he does it because he has guests, and he does it by.
We were guests on his show.
Yeah, I was a guest separately. You were a guest separately, and then we were guests together.
Yes.
It's called Set Lusting Bruce,
Mm-hmm.
and it's good. It's a lot of fun. He's had all kinds of people on there. In fact, I think he had Warren Haynes, who's the guy who wrote the book Deliver Me From Nowhere, which is about Bruce Springsteen recording the Nebraska album. And they're now actually making a movie out of Deliver Me From Nowhere, starring Jeremy Allen White as a young Bruce Springsteen. Anyway, and Bruce is heavily involved in the production, so he's given it his blessing. But I think Jesse actually had Warren Haynes on there.
That's amazing.
And he's had a whole bunch of other people on.
So if
But I'm sorry, what I was going to say is he does, because you do it over Zoom, I think, he records it while you're doing it, and then he produces, if you're subscribed to his Patreon, you get a link where you can watch the unedited video, and then he puts a little more polished version, I think, on his YouTube channel. So he does essentially that.
Right.
But we're not using Zoom because we're just right here.
But if we had guests,
If we had guests,
then
we could do
you
that.
could do Zoom and then record it, and that would be, and we could do a podcast like we're doing now. So if you want to be a guest on our show, just let us know.
If you want to be a guest on our show,
You could talk about whatever you wanted to.
well,
You could talk about nothing.
that's what we talk about.
That's
it's
true.
It's a show about nothing.
It is a show about nothing.
We've talked a little bit about politics lately. In fact, our last one was a little somber.
It was.
Episode 67, which is a New Year's episode. You can go check that out. It was good,
It was.
but it was a little reflective because God only knows where this year is going to take us. So we
Yes.
chatted about that a bit.
We did.
Wasn't our usual lighthearted fare.
Which is okay.
It is okay.
In other news, we have talked about it before about going to Cornwall for our anniversary. We're not.
Oh, I thought you'd changed your mind about Cornwall. I thought we were going to Cornwall.
David was just messing around when we were talking about places to go. Possibly our 30th wedding anniversary is in March.
Is in March.
And
This coming March,
this
not just
coming-
like some random
yeah.
March.
Although
This
last year I was like, is it 30? And then I was like, no, Jennifer, it's not.
It's, we're old, we're senile.
And so we just decided on a destination, and it was actually the same destination we were going to on our 25th anniversary. That was April of 2020. That of course got canceled, so that never happened. And we didn't go to that destination.
That is true.
So we have a email to our travel agent is going to arrange that, and once it gets settled, we'll let you know where the destination.
We'll announce it. There'll be like a reveal.
It will. That means you have to.
We'll have to have like an envelope.
Yes.
And the winner is
Guess where you're going.
Cornwall.
Yeah. Although I have seen, I think it's funny sometimes. Well, not funny, but I mean, I think it's sometimes appropriate for bigger accounts and people who have a lot of followers that don't mention like actually where they're staying until after they leave, you know, and stuff, which it makes, at first I was just like, well, who cares? You know, it's not like I'm going to, you know, Turks and Caicos or whatever like that, but there's.
Oh, we didn't even consider that.
We didn't even consider that.
We're going to the Faroe Islands.
We did see the Faroe Islands on House Hunters.
House Hunters. More than once, I think.
Yeah. Super tiny and kind of still expensive for nothing.
Yeah. Well, don't say nothing.
Yeah.
We don't
nothing.
want angry Faroe Islanders
We could
to
have
write
people,
in.
yeah. We do have some international followers on here. So if you're from another country other than the United States.
Bonjour.
Yeah. And then I was like trying
Willkommen.
to think, right.
Bienvenue. We'd be like Michael Scott.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like another thing to say hello in a different language, and I choked.
I don't know how to say it in Irish. We'll have to learn that.
Yeah, we'll have to Google
This is
that.
kind of Irishy, a little bit green. My
Mine is a limey green.
lovely Columbia sportswear. That's the thing, is we're gonna have to like explain everything to everybody.
Yes, because if you're listening, you didn't see that it's a Columbia sweatshirt.
What do you call this? Because it's like a fleecy thing and it's got zipper. It's not really a
Well,
sweatshirt.
does it zip all the way up?
It zips all the way up.
Okay.
Here, I'll demonstrate.
I just found out that if it only zips up or zips down halfway, it's like a quarter. It's called a quarter something, a quarter sweatshirt, quarter shirt or something
quarter
like that.
zip.
And I never heard that before.
And it's not really accurate either, because it's not quite a half, but it's definitely not a quarter. It's more like a third. But that doesn't sound as good. I think.
It doesn't.
What do I know about fashion?
We don't know anything. I don't know anything about fashion.
I basically am, although I don't know if he had much Columbia stuff, but I've essentially turned into my father in terms of how I dress now. It's all LL
yeah.
Bean,
Land's
End. Then you bought me socks from Eddie Bauer.
I did.
So now it's like
The trifecta.
the trifecta.
Now you're never gonna not
Now I
get
gotta
an
start
email,
smoking a pipe and buy a boat.
and you're gonna get tons of catalogs weekly.
We already do get tons
weekly from these places that
We
will
already do.
get your business.
But however, I should point out that this is a Clash t-shirt. So my dad would not have been a Clash fan.
He wouldn't have had a Clash t-shirt. No.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing. That's just so you know, that was the zipper on my jacket.
Yes.
Just to be clear, going back to the Zoom thing we were talking about earlier. I was on a work call one time, and everybody was at home, and I should have known why this happened. There was actually a very logical explanation for it, but at one point, all of a sudden, there was a sound of a toilet flush. But it was a little kid, the child of one of the people on the call, and that person was not on camera. Maybe none of us were, but anyway, that one person was not on camera, and they
Awkward
were home
silence.
with young kids who were not in school, and so the kid had gone into the bathroom while the parent was on the call. But it was one of those weird things, like, of course everybody just pretended it didn't happen because
Right.
you're not going to say anything.
Exactly.
But then you had to think about it for a minute. But then not too long after the flush, like you heard a door open and the kid is talking to the parent who's on the call. So then it all made sense.
Right.
But it was kind of one of those things. I'm like, really? This is happening? This is actually happening on a call that I'm on. One of those crazy Zoom things is happening.
Yes.
But there's always a rational explanation.
There is. Yeah, and there's always like that awkward silence of just like, okay, is anybody gonna say anything or not?
Yeah.
But we hope that this
We said not.
or
We all opted not to say anything.
yes, which is good. So we hope that this format works and that it is able to we can do the technical support surrounding.
We'll
this
expand
things.
our reach.
We're going to expand our reach. We're going to go viral and be able to retire early because of this, probably.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, I'm already retired.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Last week I said I'm done.
Well, it's so funny that you say that because somehow on TikTok, in my For You page, which is like, just your main feed that they suggest, it's not people you're following, anything. Lately, it's all about Social Security, what to do, Medicare, how to go about doing all this stuff, and I was just like, whoa.
I thought TikTok was for the young people.
No, it's for me. I'm on there, so
Well, you're young at heart.
That's true. That is so true. But I think it's funny that they are talking about stuff. But I also think it makes sense because there's nobody else talking about it really. And so if you don't know like everything that you have to do and it's all the scenarios. Should you take your Social Security at 62, 65, 67, 70, all the things.
150.
And yeah. And the one thing that I saw today, which is just like very off topic, but it's completing this thing, is that one of the women who's on there, she just says everything. If you're going to the Social Security office to ask questions, you have to do the research before to make sure that you know what the answer is because they most likely will not. And I was like, oh, that's great.
Huh.
Yeah.
This I would not have known.
Mm-hmm. So we don't have to worry about that at this moment, but it's coming. That's why I think that they want to warn us what's...
I am 62 and I'm not taking it yet. That's for sure.
Well, and now it's 67 for me. For us.
For us, it's 67, but they're threatening to push it back to like 70.
Which, yeah, no.
I don't know how many more years I have, but 70.
Yeah.
Not thrilled about that concept.
Yeah, you're not going to be like your older sister who's still working.
Well, let's not tell tales out of school.
That's true.
2,
I just did.
she likes what she's doing.
Well, that's true too. Yeah, and I think that's the funny thing too is like some people who enjoy working and enjoying that kind of lifestyle and everything, it is a very
that kind of
abrupt.
lifestyle.
It is an
The working
abrupt
lifestyle.
change to do that, then do nothing kind of thing.
Yes.
Or you can be like my mom, your mom too, totally active in a million things.
Right.
Very busy ladies,
Right.
and always had something
They
going on.
enjoyed the retirement.
Yeah, so much so that it was just like it became a job, doing all the things.
It's a
that
job for us to keep up with it.
Well, it is, and it's kind of like, you know, you kind of have to like in advance, like you can't just assume that they're going to be free because they're probably not, you know, kind of things. So you have to like get on their calendar.
That's right. That's right. Put it on my calendar.
Yeah, I'm available. Let me see, in 2 months.
That's about right.
But I think that's also a way to go to enjoy retirement is doing things, volunteering for things that you love, doing things like my mom does mahjong, she bowls, she's on.
She's like George. She's
helps
like
with the food
George
pantry.
Costanza's mom.
Yes. I don't even know how to play mahjong. I don't even know if I'd be able to learn it. That's a hard game.
I don't know, but I know that somebody found a Ferrari mahjong set on Storage Wars one time. We have a lot of guilty pleasures.
Okay, that'll be another episode.
All the dumb reality shows we watch?
Yes.
Do we want to disclose that? Of course, I disclosed one of the worst offenders, but do we want to tell
90
people?
Day Fiance. It's my fault because
That one is your fault. I'm just going to say it. That one is your fault.
Yeah, but I appreciate you watching it with me so we could discuss.
Look how loud we got.
It's like, you mean you've been watching this whole time and we could have been talking about it?
That's right.
But yeah, that could be another episode of all the crazy shows that we watch on the regular.
You might have to do that one solo. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm coming down with something.
Yeah, David's got laryngitis, so he's just gonna sit here.
No, I don't want people to know.
Too late.
We're not watching Jersey Shore. I'm telling you that.
No. That one, no, we're done with that one.
They keep doing those commercials where they go, "We're back." I'm like, you never left.
Yeah,
You won't
keep
go
on
away.
going,
You're the
coming
worst
back.
house guests ever.
Month after month after month,
That's
you're
right.
you're going somewhere else. You're doing something else, and yeah, I'm not doing that anymore.
Oh, you gave it away. Anyway,
I think we'll wrap that up this
Yeah.
episode.
we're just gonna delete this whole thing.
No, we're not. But let us know if you like this format, and we'll definitely let you know when it's posted on various channels so you can watch, and if you want to listen to it, if you want to watch us, whatever. And we appreciate your support. And we will talk to you the next time we're recording. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.